Benvenuti to the Italian Grand Prix of season 17. I believe this is round 15 of the season. Correct me if I'm wrong, Riggsy, who joins me in the car box here this evening. Riggsy, we're at the Temple of Speed this evening, and if anything like real life was like this season, we are in for an incredible race. How are you feeling ahead of Italy? Short, snappy intro, going to get right into it this evening. How are you feeling ahead of the final race of the European season here at Monza?
Oh, Moldy, it's great to be back once again. Very much looking forward to Monza. It's a very easy track in comparison to some of the others we've been to in recent times. And the European season, we're going to conclude the European season here at Monza, so very much looking forward to it. I will expect some of the drivers, if not all the drivers, to be running very skinny wings and try and maximise the top end speed. As you were saying, this is the Temple of Speed. It's got the fastest average lap time, and you can hit the highest speeds up to about 220 on the straights and some slipstream as well, so drivers will really be hitting their peak and the engines will really be working overtime just to make sure the cars are kind of hitting that potential. So very much looking forward to seeing how the drivers really go about doing it, even though they believe that they're all going to set up the same way in terms of going for skinny wings and maximising that top end speed. But weather can really play a bit of a factor. It does look very cloudy here, Maldi.
Yes, it does, definitely. We've got a few new drivers in the lobby here this evening, Riggsy. We've got, if you excuse me, we've got ABR Stubbsy making his debut in STB here tonight. He's a very quick driver and he'll be hoping to prove himself at Red Bull. We've got AMS Ducky, who this evening is replacing Zitzi at Renault, teammates with Gravity. He's another quick driver, and he'll be open to prove himself again. We've got, then we've also got RCX Stefanko, who's a very quick Italian driver. It's his home race. We've got two Italians on the grid here this evening, Riggsy, in TMR Ale and RCK Stefanko. So it is going to be an incredible Grand Prix in my opinion. But the drivers that we need to look out for, Riggsy, as we approach the flyaways is Davizin and Bruno Will. Perhaps maybe the Hamjam brothers, but definitely Bruno Will and Davizin.
Definitely. Once the European season really kind of concludes, like, I think the championship battle will really start to heat up in the final flyaways, because it's going to be the stretch of Singapore all the way to Abu Dhabi over the course of Christmas and into early January. So this is really the kind of, I don't really want to say it's the kind of final time to kind of make your mistakes. You really try and not make your mistakes. You try and optimise and go for the best possible results. But like, once you kind of start getting into that final set of flyaways, that's when you know as a driver that you're really in that squeaky bum time of the season, and you really need to kind of fully grasp what you can get and take home as many points as you possibly can. So we will probably see the drivers at the front trying to up their game, and it'll be a lot more strategical getting into the final flyaways. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing how that side of the season pans out. Talking about here though, we're starting to see some times on the board already. A 1:18.1 is the fastest by Hamjam so far, and then it's Billy WF and Jamham rounded at the top three so far. Looking at it as well, Maldi, I wouldn't be too surprised to see teams kind of helping their drivers out with the slipstream as such. It's a very slipstream heavy circuit, very heavy, very long straights as well. I feel like we'll probably be seeing a few drivers giving their teammates a tow, get into turn one, or at the very latest get into Parabolica on the final turn. But definitely will feel the slipstream can have a big effect on the lap times, because you can gain a good 10 for 2 on the straights in dirty air. So very much to play for, really.
Yes, definitely. Hamjam then, Riggsy. Top of the leaderboards at the moment, a 1:18.1. That is a very, very strong banker lap time, and he'll be looking to build on that. That is a very strong first lap for Hamjam. That was in a great position. Billy WF as well, P2. I really hope that he can have a good race this evening, because he does deserve it. You know, he's been very unlucky so far this evening, but he definitely has the pace, but it's just about executing the potential at the right time. Victor McFly there goes P8, 118.9. That's a decent first lap for him, but he wants to, try and get low 18s, high 117s here if he's to, be up there at the front of the grid.
Definitely, you want to be. You see, that's the kind of thing. You want to be as far up to the front as you can. It's a very long run down to turn 1, and it does look tight on the broadcast camera, and even when you're driving down, when you're on your flying laps, it looks like a very tight entry to turn 1. But it's quite a strange one, because if you get a good enough start, and you're if you start 3rd or 4th, maybe even 5th, and you get a really good start in comparison to the drivers in front, it looks really tight, but there is always a wee gap, there's always a wee door that opens for you when you're trying to make the moves. So you could probably see somebody still on the 2nd row, maybe even the 3rd row, challenge the front runners getting into turn 1 and 2, into that tight Ritterfield chicane. So pole position, it's the best place to be, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, you kind of maybe want to be on the 2nd row for the slipstream down to turn 1 and seeing if any gaps open up.
It's a bit like Belgium, really. You don't really want to be on that pole position as the Aussie Turker had a moment coming out the first chicane, and he's had a moment there, and he was behind, I think it was AMS Ducky, and he made a mistake. He binged it on the curb, and there you go.
And was that anti the 2nd chicane, or was that Lesmo 1?
The first chicane, coming out the first chicane onto the run up to the first Lesmo, so. See, that's what's quite interesting about Monza, because all these straights are high speed, flat out, testing the engine power of the cars, but because you're taking so much of your wing off to try and reach the peak performance of your engine, you're really reducing your downforce and the effectiveness of your braking, and your general downforce through some of these chicanes. So maybe expect to see some of the drivers struggle, especially considering some of the chicanes have sleeping policemen on the inside. So that's just the sleeping policeman is the yellow and black striped bump on the inside to try and limit the amount of track limit exploitations the drivers will be making throughout the race and qualifying or whatever. So you would try to avoid them as much as you possibly can, because that can really unsettle your car. So very much, it's very much an external factor to keeping your car within the track limits. But other than that, not really too much going on in the grand scheme of things either. I feel like the first 2 chicanes, once you kind of get a rhythm early on, they are kind of pretty much nailed. But Ascari is very troubling, because you can cut so much of it and optimise your lap time, but if you cut that tiny bit too much, it's an invalidation. So you're really kind of playing with fire going through Ascari, and the fact that because it's such a quick shift in direction change as well, with a quick left, right, left, then if the car isn't perfectly balanced, then the drivers will be having a lot of oversteer on the exit, and that is definitely not what you want, especially because coming off Ascari, you're going down onto another big straight where you're going to be hitting 200 miles an hour before the braking's on, so you really don't want that. So it really is all about the fine detail. I'll just jump back, so a bit of a had to attend to. Hamdramsberg on P1, 117.9, that's a decent lap from him. Well, P1, of course it's decent. Gravity P2 at the moment, so times are coming down. But yeah, great lap from Hamdram.
Definitely, only driving the 117s as well, so he's really kind of bolted out the gate in the early stages of qualifying. Still just under 8 minutes remaining, including final laps. I'm on board with Bruno Will. He's on a flying lap, but he's got a lot of traffic in front of him as he comes under the bank bridge down to Ascari. They all seem to get out the way from there. It's Mercury there on the left hand side, just getting out the way there. Bruno Will does take a curb quite nicely there on the inside, the left, the right and the left. Runs a bit wide on the outside, though on the exit of Ascari. He's going to have the slipstream with the Renault in front, Ducky, getting into Parabolica as well. It'll kind of hinder his entry a little bit, but it will really help him in the grand scheme of things on the exit as well. Trying to get as much of that dirty air as he possibly can. Dirty air is almost like your friend here in Monza, and it's still not enough to beat his teammate a 1:18.0. It does put them both on the front row, but he is just a few hundredths of a second shy.
Yeah, this race is actually very important, Rigsy, for the championship. We've got Davison down in P20 at the moment. He's in a set of mediums. We've got Bruno Willard in second, so it's Mercedes 1-2 at the moment. But Davison needs to sort himself out because he needs to get somewhat of a best lap in at the moment. He's down in P20. Okay, we've got Hamjam, the current pole sitter, at the party with us. Hamjam not in huge order. I'm going to give you a quick interview. So, you're in the 117s. Is Italy a track that you're liking, or are you just bashed around it? What's going on? What's your feelings ahead of the Italian Grand Prix?
Yeah, good evening, guys. I'm feeling pretty good around here.
Oh, good evening.
I had a league race around here only a couple of days ago. Pace is good. Second lap, I basically just sent it through the second and third sectors because I've done an awful first. So, I mean, I know I've got like 2.5 tenths in the lap to go still. It's whether I can kind of just send it again and hope that I can find the time in it. But no, I'm feeling good tonight.
Okay. Are we going to see potential team orders this evening, or are you going to go all out and battle for that victory?
I'm not really sure. I mean, I'd like to get the win. I don't think Bruno's in desperate need of any extra points either. So I don't
see
know.
how it is. Okay.
Well, I think we're not really in communication with one another anyway, and there's definitely been times this season where we probably both could have helped the other one out and haven't. So I don't know.
Okay. And any comments on the weather for the race?
It looks to be clearing up a bit, so dry all the way. Sun might come out as well, which is good.
Oh.
Did you want rain?
Yeah.
Just like that, your hair sinks.
We wanted a bit of rain. We wanted a bit of rain for the race, didn't we?
You can speak for me, Maldy.
Right,
I mean, I'm alright with a dry race.
Okay. Well, thank you, Hamcham, and we'll let you get on with your final lap, and good luck in the race this evening.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.
So, thank you, Rixie, for moving me off again. We've got Gravity in P3 at the moment. Recruiter the Grand Lane now. So he's P3 at the moment. That's a very strong qualifying for him, but he's 4 tenths off Bruno Will, so he's not doing very well in terms of his times at the moment.
Was it so sorry? Get done it for me.
Sorry, Gravity's at 4 tenths adrift of Bruno Will.
Gravity really kind of showing some serious pace early on in the session. It's really all a matter of if he can hook it together on the final run. He is doing by just shy of 3 tenths of a second on sector 2, so I don't think this will be a serious slap. This will be his time to come into the pit, get some fresh boots on, and view it once again. But as you were saying before we got Hamjam in, Davies in right at the back of the field. He's yet to put a time on the board, and this can be costly if he can't get a clean lap in at the end of the session. Stubbsy is absolutely coasting. He's getting no fuel on board. Well, he's not getting no fuel. I think he's just letting the traffic go. He's kind of up to speed now, so Ducky has invalidated his lap. Anybody out in the lap that we can jump on board with? Everybody seems to have invalidated or they're on their out lap.
Yeah, it's very difficult to not invalidate your laps around this circuit, I've noticed.
Definitely, it is really cutting it fine with some of these chicanes. Like, you can get a bit too greedy on the inside, and you can really hinder your run on the exits, because the sleeping policemen and the high sausage curbs are on the inside of the exits. But also, if you overstep the mark, then you're going to invalidate and your lap's going to count for nothing. So it really is all about finding that perfect balance of clipping the right amount of curb without exceeding the limit of the curb. So it really is going to be a matter of driver skill in that sense to see how far you can push your car over these curbs and over the bumps and seeing how much of the track you can actually get away with.
Yes. Visa was lagging a little bit there, but it looks like he was just coming out of the pit lane. VC currently P7. Not really. I said previously, he shouldn't really be in P7. He should be, up front, but he's just hasn't had the opportunity this season. So hopefully he can have, a good qualifying here in Italy. Driver we've got to look out for is LRS Mercury. He's looking pretty strong around Monza. His team on a lap right now, so we're going to jump on board with Vito Tani, but I am anyway. So he can do
I'll
here.
rotate.
The traffic is very prominent as well at Monza. That's going to cause potential issues for drivers. 26 dead in the first sector. He's got to really nail these curves. A bit more of the inside curve there. And I'm just going to let the car roll, let the car roll through the snow 1 and then through the snow 2. Get the curve there. A little bit wide on exit, and I'm going to actually get that DRS. Amjad thinks he's doing enough a pole. It's from Churkout's going to and his lap back. Very cautious for the story, very cautious, but that's all. He's done it then.
He'll probably slow down and go again, Maldi. That lap did look a bit. I jumped on board when he was going to run Curva Grande, and it looked alright. It did look quite sluggish through Lesmo 1 and 2 because there was traffic in the wide.
Right.
The dirty air is really going to reduce the downforce. But we're going to go again.
Sorry, Bruno Wheely's on lap now. Let's see if he can beat Hamjam to pole position. 10th up in the first sector. Take us through this lap result.
Well, he's just going through Lesbo 1. It's a bit of an incline on the apex. It does help you around the corner, but the second one has got the intimidation of the gravel trap on the outside, so you don't really want to get too greedy on carrying too much speed in before the DRS activation zone comes down and you're going under the bank in the all circuit. You get into Ascari. It's a quick left, right, long sweeping right, and it's a left. And as we saw with DJ Danny, his car got a bit out of shape and it completely ruined his lap. Bruno Will, no so much, looked a bit more planted, and there wasn't a complete oversteering moment with the complete direction shift as well. Through Parabolica, easy 5th gear. You want to relax the steering as you go out, but Bruno Will does the exact opposite to try and minimise his lap time as close to the pit wall as he can, and it's a 1:17.8, and that puts him in pole position. Looking at the rest of the field, they're all just filtering through Ascari, going down to Parabolica, and Ducky's crashed at the exit of Ascari, and Janino is the type of position in the pit lane as well. So a crash and a retirement. I'm on board with Jamham, who's going to be the last one up to the crash, which is Ducky on the left hand side there. Jamham is just exiting Ascari down the back straight into Parabolica. You'll be braking just after the 100 metre board, and you'll be going into 5th gear, same as it was Bruno Will. Does he go it wide? No, he tucks it in to go as close to the inside as he can. Take drivers filtering pit lane. Jamham ultimately complete his lap, and that puts him P3. Well, 1:18.163, and that puts him right next to his brother, who starts in P2.
And Riggs saying, David's he's on an out lap.
Who's on the lap? Oh,
Davidson will not make it. Which means he will be last on the grid here in Italy. Wow.
It's a complete split in fortune, isn't it?
That could be vital for the championship.
And that's the thing too, Maldi. Oh wait, he's gone for his lap now. Is he? Is he away on his lap now, Maldi?
Is he on a...
He is still pushing. No, he's no.
No, that must be an AI. That must be an AI driver.
Aye, but as you were saying, Davison, complete contrast and fortune to Bruno Will as well. And it's the fact too that this track really is just going to be one continuous DRS snake. so you're not really going to make any moves unless you can get a few in the start and in the first couple of laps. But once everybody settles down into a rhythm, it's going to be so hard to overtake because everybody's just going to have DRS if they can keep the pace. So Davison really kind of getting his work cut out for the back. And also somebody else that we didn't mention in that as well, Maldy, is Connor. He's starting 19, so he's not had a qualifying session to remember either.
Very bad qualifying.
He was in pole position last time out in Belgium, and he finished second in Belgium as well. And then he's starting 19, so it's a complete twist of fate there for those two.
Yes, but he did qualify as a medium, so maybe would well be the issue.
Definitely, but it is a Mercedes 1-2 own Ferrari's back geared in there, and a Haas rounds out the top three, and it's the best representation a Ferrari, because Haas is Ferrari powered, so Ferrari no really having the strongest qualifying. I did see one Ferrari up in P5, but I don't know where the other one went per se, so I'm going to look at the race director. So Kevin in the Ferrari starts P5, and the Ferrari of Janino starts P18, so a complete...
Davison was not in the lobby.
Right.
Apparently, I don't think it came up with him actually being out the session, so it did not come up on my screen. So yeah, but anyway, Rixie, we didn't go through the grid, so I'm going to go through the grid now. On pole position is BRL Bruno Will. Second is Ham Jam 2002. Third is Jam Ham. He'll be hoping to beat his brother off the line. Fourth is Stubbsy. Fifth is Kevin. That's a very good lap for him, and that puts him on for potential championship win in Tier 2 tomorrow. A dominant display from him on Tuesdays. Sixth is F1 Variety. Seventh is Billy. Eighth VC. Ninth Matty. 10th is Victor McFly. 11th is Libero. 12th is Stefanko, new driver, and he's opted for the mediums. 13th is Ducky. 14th is Mercury. 15th is Off Alley. 16th Annie. 17th Churka. 18th Janino. 19th is Connor, and 20th will be Davison if he can get back in the lobby and join us for the race. So, Riggs, I'm going to ask you now, who's going to win Italy?
Can't put me on the spot there. I think Hamill won. I think Hamill won. I think
Ham Jam.
Quietly confident about him now.
Ham Jam 2002. Okay. Well, we will see. The drivers now will go onto their formation lap. Riggsy. So we're here then, the final round of the European season. Take us through the European season from your perspective. What have been your high and lows kind of moments from this section of the season?
Oh, we've had a good few moments in the European season. I mean, it was really there was a lot of championship contestation between Bruno Will and Davison. I mean, there still is, but I feel like Bruno Will is really kind of fun a rhythm in the European stages. It's really helped his championship leading. It's really kind of extended it to a healthy amount. So he'll be looking to continue that and seal the European season out with a kiss, essentially, and go for maximum points and kind of look forward to the final flyaways. European season, we've been treated to some good races across the board. We've got Austria, which was very hectic as well, if I can remember. Britain normally delivers. And we had a good race last time out in Belgium as well, and I'm hoping that Monza, the tempo of speed, where high speed is going to be key to winning the race, and it's also plenty of scope and opportunity for these drivers to make moves into these tight chicanes. So I feel like this is a track where you can afford to be a bit ambitious where you're overtaking, because the straight is enough. There's enough length for a straight to allow overtaking. So I definitely will see. I definitely believe there will be some overtaking in this race. There's not going to be like a continuous DRS train with absolutely nothing you can do. But like, if you're brave enough on the brakes,
I think it's going to be 27 laps. Really, I think it's going to be 27 laps of pure slipstreaming, overtaking, incredible battling. Because it's
definitely.
Here for it.
I'm on board with that. Definitely on board with that as well. As everybody comes back to the grid and gets information.
So, Bruno will then. He won. I say, before this race, I would have actually said Dabby's in. But I'm actually going to go with the ABR Stubbs.
You're going with Stubbsy?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Why would it be interesting, would you say? Why?
Just didn't think it would. Didn't think Stubbsy would be the driver of choice.
Okay, well, I'm doing it differently. Okay.
I'm just kind of keeping my tongue in cheek after last time.
Yeah, definitely. Anyway, we're going to wait for the lights then to come out. I think Dabby's in. I think the lobby's glitched because Dabby's in. Great news. Here we go then,
lights, Maldy.
It is 5 lights, and away they go. The drivers are off and away. Great start there from Dabby's in. But I think he can go through everyone. I'm going to go to the front now. We've got, I can't see anything. Bruno Will then is leading the pack, second is Hamjam. We've got his half brother on the inside. Stubbsy's dropped down a P6 down. There's been a crash! There's been a crash! Oh, Beast is out of the race. Who was that contact with there? He had contact, I think, with Gravity. Contact there. And safety car has been deployed. Safety car is deployed. Riggsy, what did you see there? Big sort of contact there on that first lap.
I was just following Jam Ham and Evan T. Kevin. I seen Ham Jam kind of get his brother. They all squeeze on the inside of turn 2, and then they all filtered through. And Kevin and Stubbsy were right on the back of Jam Ham because his exit was compromised. And the next thing I knew, I seen his teammate VZ in the gravel on the outside, and he's just spun back across the track, and he's just picked up some drivers on the way through. And we've seen Gravity getting picked up. Billy is at the back of the field. He get picked up in it too. And we've seen a few drivers. TMR O'Falley as well. He's been caught up in it as well. Like everybody we've seen at the back has picked up damage in some capacity. And that's odd because VZ, I don't know if he get pushed wide or he just ran wide, but it was that panic that kind of kicked in, Maldy. It looked like he was really needing to get back onto the circuit, and because of that, it's forced his car into a spin, and it's just sent him pirouetting back onto the circuit, into the traffic. That's all that is. But it's definitely hindered a few drivers.
Going to see some pit stops. Yeah, that's very sad. Lot for you, but the lobby has glitched again. We love to see it. I'm just going to have to wait for it to sort itself out. Apparently, it is an Alfa Romeo 1 and 2, so that's a great start there from Alfa Romeo.
Definitely, didn't expect them to do that for 14th and 16th on the grid, but you never know what can happen.
Codemasters can do anything, can't they, with this game?
Definitely. I mean, talking about the strategy as well is that, like, it is normally soft to mediums with the pit window opening about lap 9, between lap 9 and lap 12. That's kind of your main window. You can maybe pit on lap 8 at the absolute earliest for the mediums. So I feel like we're seeing Victor McFly and Gravity on the hards. They shouldn't have any real issue about making it to the end. But because there's such a big difference in tyre delta, the hard tyre doesn't really feel like it suits this track. So they're going to have a real struggle trying to heat up the tyres and then maintaining that grip throughout the race.
Well, we'll have to see, but I think if they can go to the end, that's decent to get decent points on the board, especially with this safety car period now. So, yeah, but we'll just have to see, Riggsy. I mean, we're going for another lap of safety car, but yeah, big action on the first lap. Inject it.
Definitely. The tight chicane at 1 and 2 in the start very rarely disappoints in a sense. Like, it's always kind of thrown something into the works, and in this case it was VZ's Haas that kind of threw itself into the works and
when did
traffic.
Hamjam take the lead? Because I don't think he actually took the lead. I'm confused now.
It was definitely off camera because I never caught it on the camera.
Oh.
So I don't know if he's inherited it under the safety car, or he did make the overtake work before the yellow flags came out. So I'm not really sure what happened there. But
all I know is on the first corner, Riggsy, There was big contact. Well, there wasn't big contact, but there was contact between the two brothers. I think Jam Ham in the half went up the inside, and Ham Jam was having none of it.
I think it was a bit, yeah. For what I remember seeing, I mean, I could be entirely wrong. I kind of need to see a replay of it, but for what I remember seeing, it just looked to me that Ham Jam was focusing more on Bruno Will than actually Jam Ham, because Jam Ham had a really good start as well. He was on the outside, taking Bruno Will's slipstream on the outside, while Ham Jam was going to go up the inside into one. And because Bruno Will braked a bit late into one to give his teammate the space, Ham Jam was gone for the switchback on the exit, and that's kind of what did force Jam Ham onto the curb on the inside. No damage done though, but it really did hinder his brother's run off the exit.
Yeah, definitely.
But it still means it keeps P3 though. I mean, no damage done, but I mean it was one of the kind of absent-minded moments. It doesn't really have any big major consequence attached to it, but it's something that they'll be wary of now because they can it's happened. Like, there'll be no doubt in my mind that they're sitting shouting at each other now saying, you didn't give me enough space, I didn't ken you were there or whatever. Like, they've probably kind of communicated with that, and they've like expanded on that, and they've realised that it's not going to happen. But I'll let you take us back underway, Maldy.
Thank you, Riggsy, my favourite part of the Grand Prix. This second restart. Then we love restarts in Formula One nowadays. Here we go. Then Ham Jam, he's going to leave the drivers. He's going to get off to a great start there. Bruno was going to be right on the back of him. He's going to have that overtake mode in there, but the Haas is right on the back now. He's probably got skinnier wings now as they go down into Curva de Ratificio. And it's 4 drivers. Kevin's getting involved in there, showing his talent for Tier 1 next season. He will obviously be promoted up next season. Bit of actually going out the back there. We've got side-by-side action. Danny and Janino as they come down. We've got the Williams of Davies in. He needs to get past these guys as quickly as possible, Riggsy, for any chance of gaining back any sort of deficit in the championship. Matty then is P6 at the moment. He's had a great start. 4th is Kevin. He's had a great start as well, as I said. And Stubbs is P5. Good debut from him. Riggsy, what you're seeing at the front. Gap looks to be expanding between Ham Jam and Bruno Will. But there's been a crash, sorry. There's been a crash, and Billy and off Ballet there have been involved. Victor McFly has also been involved in a collision. And there you go. That's it.
It goes. Oh, there's another one. It's a racing point to Churka on the exit of Lesmo 2. Yellow flags are out there. It just seems to be we kind of get a clean racing lap at the moment, but
Just like Bahrain.
It's really going to hinder Victor McFly's incident, Billy's incident's really going to hinder them because they've already pitted if they've picked up damage. But looking off the start, Maldy, Ham Jam's bolted. Like, he's left Bruno Will in the dirty area. His brother, he's put his brother in the dirty area of the Mercedes, getting into the first chicane. So Ham Jam really looking like he's wanted to try and stretch his legs early on. Yellow flags in sector 3, and I mean, it generally the restart looked alright. Like, there was nothing really too wrong with it, but it kind of did look like he left it late.
Stubbsy's on the back of Kevin now as they go down to the first chicane. No, can't get the overtake done. Too risky to go up the inside and do a bit of a dive bomb up there. Very difficult. Set for yellow flag. What's going on? What's Churka doing?
It seems to be McLaren and Racing Point. Yellow flag.
Yeah, what's Churka doing? Going down straight.
I've absolutely zero idea. He looks like he's weaving. Has he got damage? He's got damage. He's got front right end plate damage.
Well, why wouldn't he just retire? Why is he going? I don't know why he's going slow around the circuit for.
This is kind of giving me a bit of anxiety, Maldy.
Yeah,
I've got no idea what to expect.
Same. Anyway, yeah. I mean,
but
what's going on?
As I was saying a bit earlier, like the restart was alright. It was kind of really what you would expect. It is maybe just the nature of the track. Like, it's allowed Bruno Will, Jam Ham and Kevin all just to kind of tuck into the slipstream while Ham Jam's sitting there busting a hole through the air for them just to get the dirty air that he's creating through him being at the front. So they get the benefit of the dirty air while he has to create that hole. So he's going to have that straight line hindrance while they're all going to get the benefit of some good slipstream. Wasn't enough to get them close enough. He didn't really well to defend, and he keeps the lead. But that gap, as I was saying, he was trying to build a gap early on, but his teammate and Jamham have both really just kind of clawed him back in there. No quite, you can't really escape. Like once you're in a slipstream train, you really can't get out it. Like it's one of the situations that you can't really do anything about unless one of the drivers makes a mistake. Like you need to kind of just bank on a mistake from somewhere to try and break that stream. So I feel like this stream, if they keep it clean, keep it quick, then this battle for the lead can be between Bruno Will, Jamham and Ham Jam for the duration of the race. The only bad thing is Mercedes need to be careful and not tread over the other strategy, if you know what I mean. Because if Ham Jam comes in and Bruno Will follows him in, he's going to get stacked. So they're going to have to try and plan the strategy in advance. And I'm not sure if they actually share communication in the chat as well. So it'll be interesting to see how they play that out. Normally, first driver gets the priority on track, so it'll be Ham Jam that gets the priority at the pit stop. So Bruno will really need to kind of act on instinct whether he comes in, or whether Ham Jam comes in on the win and he does the opposite. So it really is going to be interesting to see how that plays out.
Yes, Rick. Sorry, I'm just trying to make sure that check the tyres, because for some reason he's on the wet tyres. So I don't know what the hell he's playing at, but that is very, very rude from Cherka.
I have absolutely zero idea. I'm on board with the now because I just want to see how he's dealing with the wets on a really bone dry circuit. He's just going to burn them out. That's all it really is.
I honestly don't understand what he's doing. I don't actually understand what he's doing. So he will be removed from the league after this race. I don't know what the hell is going on. I don't know what he's going on. Like, what is he doing?
He's really running a very high risk race. Like, he's running because the wet tyres are going to have absolutely no grip, no real feel of sensation on the track. So, on Kevin's dropping like a stone, Maldy, and Kevin's spun at the chicane.
Kevin's spam.
He just filters in there right behind Davies.
Honestly, I don't understand because of Cherka now, we've missed important parts of the Grand Prix. But Kevin's now going to come back at Davies in.
Is he going to go? Oh, Davies in. Tries to squeeze up the inside.
And Cherka has
Cherka
retired
retires.
Good. Okay. Alright. Results he's got. Davies has got a penalty, and there you go. Is the championship running away? But Bruno Wilshire has got now slipstream on Ham Jam. He's a 10th. He was within a 10th there.
Got a good exit out of Scary, but Ham Jam also looks to go an equal benefit off the exit as well. So Ham Jam doing everything that he can in his power to keep his teammate behind, and that's the kind of thing as well. Like maybe Bruno Will is just kind of biding his time. Like the ERS.
DRS for Bruno Will.
Is he going to go defensive? He's just going to let his teammate take it up the inside into turn 1 and 2. Oh, Bruno Will does lock up. Does he go for the switchback? Gets a good smooth exit. Pity a correction there on the steering, and there's Cherka's car just getting out the way there right at the last moment there as well. Jamham just keeping in touching distance as well. He's right there. It's really going to be a matter of, I think it might just be a matter of no letting Bruno Will get away now at this stage. Yeah. And if you've got DRS in any of these two the activation points, then it'll not be too much of a stretch. But Bruno Will just looks like he's getting like much. I don't know if it's just the dirty air on the front of Ham Jam's Mercedes, or the fact that Bruno Will's getting like good enough looking exits. Like Ham Jam looked like he was in control when he was leading. Maybe it is just the dirty air having a big one. Ham Jam.
He spun there. He spun on the curb.
Oh, that was a big moment. My head was in my mouth there.
Very scary for Ham Jam. That could have been his race over and done with. Looks for a yellow flag. Looks like Danny Span. Yeah, he's gone.
That's at the back of the field. DJ Danny. Has he got damage? I don't think he's got damage, but It's really ruined his race there as we're starting to see some people pitting. Jamham pits. Jamham's going for the undercut, Maldi. Jamham's in the pit lane. Oh, Bruno was in the pit lane too. I didn't see that, sorry. Bruno was in the pit lane as well.
Yeah, Jamham had to wait, I think, for Bruno Will to come out of the pits there. That's going to lose him a few tenths.
And Hamjam needs to put in the lap of his life if he wants to come out in front.
Yeah, but those tyres are going to be very worn. Those tyres are going to be very worn. Compared to, you know, Bruno Will and his brothers' fresh mediums.
And the fresh mediums should quite easily get you to the end. There will be some issues with traction off some of the slow turns, but through the high speed corners it's weird because the grip, the tyre wear with the mediums here, like you can do, like obviously for lap 10 to about lap 24, and then they kind of have this they have this kind of wee phase where they're really bad, and then they actually pick up again in performance right at the end when you need it to. That's kind of what I found out when I was racing in Monza just a few nights ago, and in the past on this game. Like there is like a peak where the grip is absolutely terrible, but then once you kind of accustomize yourself to it, then the grip kind of comes back to you. I don't know how to explain it other than that. Like when the grip goes, it's like watching Hamilton sit and say there's no grip, and then he puts in the fastest lap. It's kind of like that. Like, like.
Oh wait there a minute.
Exactly.
Wait there, hand jam. Let's keep the position of Bruno Will. Oh, around the outside, and Bruno Will's running, and he's got Jamham now on the back of him. Oh, he ejects it.
Oh, that was close. I'd literally just, like, as soon as you started screaming there, I just jumped on board because I knew it was going to be that.
Yeah, Bruno Will was in the picked exit, Riggsy, you know, trying to get into that slipstream and couldn't get past Hamjam. Good defending there from the Mercedes. Definitely wants this victory.
It really just goes to show you that the thousandth of a second matters. It really does come down to just how efficient you are, and it comes down to timing and everything else. It's fine margins that got Hamjam back out in front of his teammate, and crucially back in front in a net P1 once everybody pits. He is tucked up right behind Victor McFly.
Victor McFly's going to go to the end, sorry.
Hard tyres can probably go to the end, they'll be really bad on pace, but they should have no issues reaching the end for lap 1.
Okay. Gravity's on there as well. Connor is battling then with Janino now. So let's see what he's going to do. Here we go. Great exit out of the Coda after video in the slipstream. Mercury's been overtaken by Stefanko as well.
And Connor's going to go for it. Oh, Janino's making a move. Connor's having to back out of that there. Janino just running Connor out of space there, forcing him to go the long way around, but is Connor going to get the inside into the first Lesmo or two? Janino runs wide.
Oh, here we go. Oh, that's me crash.
Oh, no. Oh, they've touched. Yeah. And that so nearly could have been a big accident there. It's McLaren versus Ferrari. One of the biggest battles in Formula 1.
I don't really know Ritzy, sorry. I don't know why Janino is battling this, because he's on worn sauce compared to fresh mediums. I believe fresh mediums anyway. So
Connor's on mediums for the start, so he's not allowing lap mediums.
Well, still fresher mediums, because obviously the actual wear, they're just better tyres obviously at this point. So that's what I mean.
Definitely, he should be down at the pits now, which he is.
Yeah, that's lost Connor a lot of time actually.
Connor just peels off. Looking at this train, Victor McFly is splitting the two Mercedes. Jamham goes fastest with a 21.6.
This could help Hamjam if Victor McFly can block Bruno well a bit and Jamham.
And that's the interesting thing as well. Like Victor McFly is on. He's technically on the same race as the leaders. Like he is effectively fighting them from like P1, P2, P3. Like he is in this battle, albeit he is on much older, much slower tyres. He is definitely capable of going to the end if tyre management is key. And if he can just manage the tyres on some of these slower turns, then he can definitely, without a doubt, reach the end. And he can definitely, he's entitled to race this. Like, he's entitled to battle this, so this is crucial for Ham Jam. He's already built a second gap to Victor McFly and 1.2 to his teammates, so it really is going to be fine margins. If Victor McFly is slow through Parabolica, then Victor McFly might not have DRS, which will allow Bruno Will and Jam Ham to look at him and just try and get by as quick as they possibly can. That's all it really is now for... No, and Bruno Will's going to go up the inside. That was quite brave. That was quite brave there. I thought that was a bit of impatience kind of kicking in, but it just seems to be Bruno Will going to get the move done, running the outside. Victor McFly's going to have DRS as well, as we see Victor McFly getting passed by Bruno Will as he going to try and go late on the brakes. Jam Ham goes by as well, so I think Victor McFly was really just saying, this isn't my fight, I'll let you go, which is a bit surprising, considering that he is entitled to battle it.
Yeah, he is entitled to battle it, Riggsy, but I mean, I don't really think he's got the pace, so I think that was a good call from the Spanish driver there.
It definitely like will play a part in the race. Like, Bruno Will was so nearly out of that 1 second window on his teammate, and that could have been crucial in terms of slipstream and DRS.
Riggsy, sorry Riggsy, Mercury's in the situation with Stefanko now. This is a battle for P1 at the moment, both on medium, so we will be expecting them to pit in about 3-4 laps.
And they'll be pitting in a couple of laps time. Stefanko running a bit wide, Mercury kind of falling in sympathy there. Mercury will have DRS into turn 1 and 2, and this should be a fairly easy move. Stefanko no really defending it too aggressively into the braking zone. Mercury up the inside, doesn't even feel the need to squeeze. And looking at Ham Jam by gravity as well.
Bruno Will now is between Gravity and Jam Ham, so Gravity could make things very difficult for Bruno Will here.
And this will be the same thing again. It's interesting because it's going to be Ham Jam that's going to be the first to encounter the proper traffic, and if he's going to be able to like filter the traffic in between himself and his teammate and his brother, then that's really going to help his chances for winning this race. The only thing about that is, though, it's a 4.1 second gap to the next car, which is Connor, and he'll probably pit by the time that Ham Jam gets near, so Ham Jam will probably effectively take the net P1, and it'll be up to him to manage the gaps through there, and he'll be going back to the status that he had in the early stages, and that was going to be piercing the hole through the air. Like, that's going to be his role in this stage. He's going to be towing Gravity, Bruno Will, Jam Ham along, and Victor McFly's kind of dropped off this battle already 1.9 seconds back, 2 seconds back on Jam Ham.
Franco in the pits then, followed by Connor. They're both in, going for a set of softs. Quite early actually, I think maybe 1 lap, 2 laps time for them to pit, but no, they're in.
Definitely, I think you don't want to really lose too much time on the mediums, and I think that's kind of what's kind of going through the minds here. You don't want to go burning all your time and all your effort on warm mediums when you can jump onto fresh softs and then deal with the warm softs at the end. But I think Jam's going to go up the inside of Gravity. Gravity leaves it late on the brakes, and that is a big braking move there for Gravity on the outside, and Jam Ham up the inside into the first Lesmo. Kind of a bit forceful, but it's fair. It needed to be done. Jam Ham 1.7 seconds behind Bruno Will now, and that has completely killed any real chance for some DRS in the coming laps. It's not over, but it's really put Jam Ham on the back foot now with that late braking move by Gravity into the second chicane. It's really kind of put him on the back foot.
Definitely. Right, where's Davies in? P10 at the moment.
P10.
He's not. I mean, yeah, that's disappointing, you know. Has this championship been won here in Italy?
It's definitely going to be close as well. The Mercedes 1 and 2. Mercedes once again battling for the lead of the race, battling for the win. Jamham, it's no deed and buried per se, but that 1.7 second gap will really start to bite them in the rear when it comes to the closing stages, if you can't close it. And it is really hard to close a gap when you're the one that's having to drive in the clean air, because you're not going to have the slipstream helping you along. The train has effectively been dismantled at this stage, and I mean, Gravity again, I feel like was entitled to kind of fight his fight there, but it's really cost them both any real shot of the win there, be kind of gone late on the brakes. Jamham, like, he couldn't afford to leave that either. Like, he needed to make that move. Like, in my mind anyway, he needed to make that.
Well, I hope Jamham can try and claw back some time, but obviously it's very difficult with that DRS. We've got Stefanko now P11, so he's going to try and get on the back of Danny now, and so is Mercury as well. He's going to try and get on the back of these two. But Danny, so Mercury's got some. Oh, I thought he had a Red Bull behind him. I'm so confused. Sorry about that.
No, that's fine. The Red Bull, I'm on board with the Red Bull of Stubbsy, who's behind Matty Banter, and this is for P6. It's the trains at the front have kind of been split, but Matt is kind of got a train all the way down to P9. As we see Stubbsy picking up a penalty there for track extending. Oh, and Matt there looking like he is in a bit of a shape there. Gravity picking up penalties. You can just see the big penalty war there between P4 and P10, and then the rest are kind of driving relatively clean races so far.
Right, Mercury then looking pretty strong here, we'd say. Mercury's looking very good.
Looks like he's got some grip through a Scary there, following Stefanko through, and they're both on the softs. Stefanko, Mercury and Connor, and they're going to be looking to try and carve their way through this medium tired train. Stefanko already on the rear wing of Libero, and I think you'll get the move done before DRS is even opened. Nah, he just gets it just after the activation zone, which is close enough. Oh, and there's a wee wiggle there for the pair of them. A wee wiggle there.
Roseman's trying to defend it. No, Stefanko's on those pressure softs.
And
now Mercury's
Davies in yellow flags. That's in the pit lane. Mercury trying to go around the outside of Curva Grande on Libero. Libero kind of giving them the space on the inside. Mercury late on the brakes. Libero trying to keep the place, but at the end of the day, Mercury gets it done.
That is actually a great move there from Mercury. Use that overtake. Used that slipstream, Curva Grande, used, the grip from the new tyres that he's got on his car, and he said, you know what, Libero, I'm going to get past you now, trying to overtake Stefanko. He's picked up a penalty.
And that'll not be his aspiration for points any good. I mean, he's P10 and he's on the soft, so it'll really depend how many penalties everybody's got in this penalty wall, as you can see on the left hand side.
Sorry, I don't know if you are seeing this, but we potentially could have a battle all the way from P5 to P11 here. P4.
P4 to 11, it really can go either which way, and like that's what's interesting too. Like, if you're in this battle without a penalty and everybody else around about you has a penalty, you can be 11th or 12th and you can get P4 for this race. That's just how close it is for the rest of the points. Like, the podium is kind of doing its own race at the front, but 4th down to P10, P11, P12, even when Connor kind of gets his softs up to speed, this could be Andy's guess for who finishes where, Maldy.
Well, I can confirm, Riggsy. I'm not going to say how many, but everyone in this battle has got penalties, so that will be something to look for in the race.
I'm going to do my best. I'm not going to look at the penalties in
But
terms
I'm
of
not
how
going to
much.
say how much because of, you know, the suspense and things. But yeah, it is going to be closer on the finish, I think.
Definitely. I'm going to try and avoid. I'm going to avoid looking
Right.
at penalties. I absolutely hate looking
Victor
at penalties.
McFly, Rigsy, is on the back of Gravity, but look at his ERS. It's very low. Very low.
Oh, and we've got Stefanko up the inside. Davison into the braking zone at turn 1, makes the move. Looking on board with Victor McFly, trying to get by Gravity. His ERS is running really low, 9%. He'll need to think about saving if that was Victor McFly.
Oh, Victor McFly, yes, it was very low down the straight.
Gravity's still got 45% there. And I think Victor McFly, other than Mercury and Davison at the back, are doing relatively worse on management than everybody else.
No, something, Ricks. The two Red Boys have had a great debut.
Red Bull really just having one of the quiet races, if I'm being honest. It's quiet,
they've been
but
decent,
it gets the job done.
Yeah, they've been decent.
Definitely.
Victor McFly
And I
then,
don't think
here we go, slipstream on Gravity Goes going to try and break that slipstream down the straight, they go down the Parabolica. Final corner of the circuit, BC sets fastest lap, but he's down in P16, so that won't really matter. Here we go then, DRS, won't be overtake because he's got none.
Oh!
It's Danny Crash!
And Danny's in a big off. Big off at Ascari.
Virtual safety car's been deployed.
That is interesting. So the stewards in race control feel like it's not enough for a full course
Imagine
caution.
a full course caution, that would be insane. But sorry, we've got some battling going on here. I think it's the end of the virtual safety car because Stubbsy and Mercury now are going at it as they come down into the first chicane. Side by side, Stubbsy's going to hit him a little bit wide there, but Stubbsy's going to have a bit of a moment. And Mercury is going to stay behind him. Aggressive, but kind of fair defending there from Stubbsy. Don't know if you agree.
Stubbsy just looked like he was a bit sluggish on the restart there. Mercury on the soft tyres looking a lot more lively and punchy there on the restart, and nearly seized the day with an overtake on Stubbsy on the restart. But I think Stubbsy was well aware of the situation and was able to cover Mercury off when he needed to. Mercury did try and go for a switchback on the exit of the second chicane, but there wasn't really much in it for a move.
It's not going to be close enough though, so he's going to have to wait another lap. But here we go, down the straight then. Matt's going to have DRS, Stefanko's going to have DRS as well. Here we go, down the straight. Looks like Matt's got very skinny wings there. Very low downforce for the racing point.
Oh,
Bit of contact, but no damage I don't think. Oh, bit of a moment there for Stubbsy. That's a big moment there. Davison though, P10 Rigsy. P10 for Davison. He's supposed to be in the championship battle. But what is going on now? We've got Victor McFly and Gravity now. Back at it, and Victor McFly's picked up a penalty, so that's going to be crucial.
penalties are really going to be quite key to the final result of the race. It's going to have a big impact, big influence. And what's also having a big impact on this race as well, Maldy, is the fact that Gravity and Victor McFly are still leading this train with 20-lap old hard tyres, and everybody else is on softer tyres and fresher tyres as well. So the hard tyres really still holding up at this stage in the race. But I think Matty Banter looks to be pushing Victor McFly through Ascari there, and he's already side by side, and they're going to be fighting for the slipstream. Gravity's kind of looking like the key to Victor McFly before shifting back onto the racing line. Matty Banter, nice move running the outside of Parabolica.
This is insane. Here we go. Sorry, Rigsy. We've got Gravity, Matty, Victor McFly, Stefanko now down the straight. Look at the pace, look at the speed. Mercury's in the stream as well. Down the straight, DRS, side by side. Matty's going to try and now get Gravity around the outside of turn one. Going to Ratafilio. Gravity's going to go very defensive. They've got the Red Bull around the outside. Stefanko's off the circuit. Stefanko's out. Stefanko's been taken out of the Grand Prix! Oh!
Oh, and it just looked to be
the circuit on his home race.
It just looked to be Matt just looked a bit unaware. He was too really focused on Gravity at the front, and Gravity was very valiantly defending his P4. Matt tried to go and get a good run on the exit, and Gravity was just because he's on the old hards, doesn't have the same traction off the exit. Matty Banter tries to make the way by and doesn't realise that Stefanko's already on his outside on the soft tyre. I think it's just a complete lapse in concentration for the racing point. We'll need to kind of see a replay. I'll need to see a clip of it or a.
It just looks like they were side by side and they just went into each other's paths and they just crashed. Or Matty forced him off, one of the two. I'm not sure from the camera angle that I was seeing, but now that we've got a slipstream fest going on now, so.
It definitely, to me, it does look to be accidental. It's unfortunate. I didn't really see any real intent. It's just one of the. It's the same as. It's like that thing I was saying about Ham and Jam earlier on the start when Ham's too busy focusing on Bruno Will to try and go for the switchback and he pushes his brother onto the curb. Like, because you're so focused on one driver, you don't really pay attention to the other that much. And I think that's just kind of what it was with Matt. He was too busy focused on Gravity that he didn't realise that Stefanko had the good exit and effectively just kind of nudged him that wee bit too hard on the exit too and pushed him onto the gravel. I think that's really all that we can really. I think that's all she wrote really.
On Mercury. He's made a mistake on the second Lesmo, and Connor's got the overtake done. That's P6 now for the McLaren. Mercury's made a big mistake there. He decided to cut you off, but that was a big moment in the race there. He looks like he's losing grip.
He done extremely well to keep it in control though, because if you go wide like he did, like if you're snatching a break into the second Lesmo, you're normally 9 times out of 10 you're in the gravel and you're spinning. Like to get that car back, to get that car back under control is, I mean, it's an A+.
Sorry, Bruno. Like, oh, sorry, I thought he was down the straight. Sorry, he's a 10th foot, so he's definitely gaining that DRS. So it's going to be an important final lap, Riggs. I think we should look at Bruno Will and Hamtram now. The battle is hotting up here in Monza. And Bruno Will has got some insane ERS advantage as well.
Bruno Will's just been saving up for some final lap heartbreak. You can feel it. Jam Ham's really kind of like that move with Gravity is really kind of killed his momentum there. When you're in the slipstream, you're settled. Like you can manage your fuel, you can manage your ERS, you can manage your tyre wear and such. But when you're in your own race, it really just isn't the same. And that move with Gravity has really killed any real chance that he had for a win. But Bruno Will and Hamjam are very much going to go hammer and tongs to the checkered flag.
Bruno Will has got so much ERS as well. It's going to be insane. He's going to eat Hamjam up on the straight. Eat him up for dinner.
Hamjam's go.
He's done it now. I think Bruno Will's done it now, Riggsy. I'm sorry. I think he's done it now.
Hamjam has to keep it to the right. Bruno Will's going to go run the outside. Hamjam's going to try and go late on the brake. Bruno Will. Oh,
here we go. Come on,
Hamjam
side by side. Here we go.
And he's going to have to settle for Tucknan. And Bruno Will looks to have got the move done. And Hamjam.
All going to be about these two Lesmos, Riggsy.
And I think if you're Hamjam, you kind of chuck a bit of aggression into the wind. You kind of see what's out there. You kind of have to take a bit of like a bolder line through Lesmo 2 if you want to run to Ascari, or at the very least shape the move up for Parabolica, where it's your final opportunity. He's going to have DRS here though, Maldi. He's going to have DRS. Bruno Will's going to have to be the one that keeps it defensive. But Hamjam, because he's got so little ERS, there's not much to play with. Bruno Will looks up into Ascari though. But is he going to get a good exit off Ascari? I was about to call that Parabolica there.
I don't think it's going to be enough, Riggs. I think Bruno Will's run the race.
And it's final lap, heart 8.
Round the final corner, Riggsy. That is final lap, heart 8 for Hamjam. He was leading basically the whole race Alberino will takes it one set close to the Tier 1 Championship in Season 17. He wins the Italian Grand Prix, followed by Hamjam. Third is Jamham. Now, this is the battle we're looking at. Matty will finish in P4, but where will he finish in terms of penalties? We're going to see. Stubbsy's got Mercury off the line. Stubbsy P5, Connor was P4. Libero, best race of the season so far. I think we're going to have to interview him, Big Sid. I think we're going to have to interview Libero. That's a great race for him. 7th is Matty. 8th was Gravity. 9th, Mercury. 10th, Davizin. 24 points he has lost in that championship battle. Is this the end for Davizin's championship? 11th, Kevin. 12th is Jockey. 13th is Nina. 14th, VC. And then I believe 15th was Stefanko and 16th was Billy. That was your finishers. And then your big DNFs. I think we had off A part of those DNFs, Rigsy. So that, do you know what, Rigsy? That was a very decent Italian Grand Prix, I think. That was decent.
It lives up to the hype more often than no. Monza is one of the tracks that is held in such a high regard. It's got history, it's got like sentimental value in the calendar. Like it's the Temple of Speed. It's very unique in its own sense, and it always delivers, whether it's dry or wet. It always brings out the driver's racecraft, really, like, because it is always going to be side-by-side action in late braking into these hard chicanes. So, like, it really does exemplify one's skill at a track like this. It looks very easy on paper, but when you're driving it, it is very different.
Yeah, obviously penalties played a big part in that Grand Prix, but a great victory for Bruno Will. 2nd was Hamjam, 3rd was Jamham. That was your podium for the Italian Grand Prix. We will be interviewing Hamjam, Jamham and Connor. Fortunately, Bruno Will could not have an interview. You've heard that most times this season. But he unfortunately can't speak English very well, so he won't be able to interview you this evening. Rigsy, who are we saying is our driver of the day?
Oh, you'd kind of look at Connor, 19th to 4th. I feel like that's a serious shout. Libero, 11th to a season best P6 as well, is a strong nomination. It was, I'd probably go for one of them too. It was quite quiet at the front until the dying embers there, and it was just very hectic in the midfield. Like, you really couldn't keep up with penalties. Kind of played a big part there, and I feel like because Connor their penalties to a minimum, they benefited quite massively off the final result. So I'd probably say one of them two, purely just on the basis of cleaner driving. Even though they picked up penalties, it's clean enough driving to get them some solid points on the board after like qualifying was kind of compromised. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Rigsy. We're going to interview Connor then. Connor, you was involved in P4, another great performance for you. Racial audios included. Just take us through how you was feeling with that train. You had the soft tyres. You started on mediums, I believe. So you had that advantage with softs. How was the train, the midfield train in the last stint?
It was pretty horrible, to be honest, because everybody was defending like it was a last lap battle for the championship. But I just had to get through it and try and maximise the points.
Yeah, well, P4, still an incredible race. Good result. How you feeling ahead of Singapore next week?
Sort of mixed feelings, because in other league races I haven't really done so well around there, but if I get the right setup, then I think I can have some decent points on the board.
Okay. Well done on your P4, and we hope to see you next week in Singapore doing maybe a little bit better, maybe a podium again. So well done. Jamham, you had a very qualifying here in Italy. What went wrong in the race? It seems you dropped off pace from the front two runners.
Yeah, a little mistake, I think, more than anything. I rushed it a bit to get past Gravity, and it cost me quite a bit of time. I think it lost me the DRS to the two ahead. But,
Yes, that definitely affected your race, yeah.
Yeah, I think it would have been hard to get past them anyway, with the DRS, obviously. But yeah, happy to settle for third.
On lap 1, Jamham, you had a bit of a collision with your brother. Any comments on that? It looks like you had a bit of contact down into turn 1.
It might have been a bit of lag or something, because Harry's saying that he didn't see the contact. I was just trying to sort of hold it around the outside, and saw a little bit of a gap, and he was going for the switchback. So yeah, it was all right. There no damage, nothing like that. So it's all right.
Well, that's very good. Another great performance for you. The end of the European season. How do you think you've lived up to the expectation of you as a driver in this European season? Do you think you've met your expectations, what you wanted to do in this part of the season?
Yeah, I'd say I definitely have. I came into the season hoping for top 5 in the championship, and it's looking like that's gonna happen. Taking my first win as well, and getting quite a few podiums, and already got more points than I've ever had in the season. So really happy with it so far.
Okay, thank you, Jamham. Hamjam,
Thank you.
Last lap heartbreak for you. It must be very, very, very bad, the fact that he was leading basically the whole Grand Prix from that safety car, and then you lose it on the last lap. How are you feeling about that race tonight?
Yeah, I'm feeling all right.
Okay.
Maybe it would have been better to perhaps have been in P2 the whole of that second stint. But I mean, at the end of the day, I'm not really fighting for anything. I think the constructors is pretty comfortable anyway. Obviously, Bruno's the one fighting for the championship, so it's not too bad. I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's another missed opportunity, I think, but I'm not too disappointed.
Okay. Well, thank you, Hamjam, and a great race.
Cheers.
Okay, so that concludes, ladies and gentlemen, the coverage for the end of Tier 1, the Italian Grand Prix. Thank you, Rigsy, for joining me here this evening. Thank you to everyone that participated, all 20 drivers that participated, and the podium finishers, Bruno Will, Hamjam, and Jamham. And from everyone here at STB, we wish Romain Grosjean a quick recovery from his horrific crash yesterday. But if you want to see more STB coverage, then you can join us tomorrow for the Tier 2 Italian Grand Prix, where Mercury and Buckley will be shading me on every minute of the stream. If you don't want to watch that, you can join next week's Tier 1 Singapore Grand Prix. Or you could wait till next week's exclusive to STB, the Twilight Singapore Grand Prix, because we're just amazing. But all jokes aside, thanks for watching the Italian Grand Prix, and we'll see you tomorrow for the Tier 2 Grand Prix here at the Autodromo Nazionale di Monza. We'll see you tomorrow for Tier 2.